Live from New York, it's Ask a Bunch of Engineers.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another exciting Ask an Engineers show from downtown Manhattan. It's me, Lady Ada, and I'm an engineer. But I'm not the only engineer. I'm only 25% of the engineers in this room right now with me. We have 3 members of Team JACD from Battlebots who are kindly traveled all the way to New York from Boston? Oh, Boston? Okay, all from Boston.
So Cynthia, Hanna, and
Lucy.
Yeah.
And they're going to engineer the hell out of something here, so watch out. I'm going to make sure there's no struts or motors around here. They'll just build a robot. We got an exciting show for you tonight. Tell them what's on tonight's show.
Okay, on tonight's show, the code is Team Jack, 10% off an Adafruit installer all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight.
You get 10% off Cynthia. No,
yeah.
no. She's not in the store.
And that works with robotic parts and such. We'll be talking with our guests, Cynthia, Hanna, and Lucy, about their experience with Battlebots. We'll go over the show and tell. Pack the mailbag will stop by. Adafruit Jobs Award. Wearables. 3D. Raspberry Pi. New products. We'll answer your questions, and we'll have a trivia question, all that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer.
Multiple.
Yeah, I'm not going to do time travel this week. We're running out of time. All right. So let's first take care of some bills. Don't forget, Team Jack, all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight. We have a couple things going on in the Adafruit store right now. $200 or more, free UPS ground, and we just added back promo proto, so $99 or more, you get a promo proto.
Lovely promo proto.
We're still doing same-day delivery in New York, which is going good. So if you're in New York City and you wanted emergency parts, which people are like, oh my god, I need emergency parts, we finally have the thing. So if they order before 11 a.m., it'll arrive before 5 p.m. in New York City. Yeah, so a lot of advertising agencies and desperate students. So that seems to be the target market for this particular thing. Lady Ada, how about you talk about who's on the show and tell this week?
Absolutely. We had a jam-packed show and tell. I started off with Tony Nicole showing off his Techno Tiki project that he wrote up for learn.adafruit.com. Check out that tutorial if you'd like to make your own indoor safe LED NeoPixel Techno Tiki. I guess, I don't know, people have like tiki torches and you don't want to cast them on fire. Do this instead, NeoPixels. Noam Pedro came in and have been doing a lot of experiments with conductive filament. Last week they made an LED tester using conductive filament all in one, like tweezer that could grab coin cell and light up an LED, let you know the coin cell was good. And then this week they did a Tron glove, which is a glove made with Ninja Flex and then interspersed with layers of conductive filament. So they actually did like a 3D printed conductive glove with LEDs, kind of cool looking, and a really interesting experiment with conductive filament. Roberto came back with a lizard enclosure. Even though his lizard wasn't super cooperative, which is a bit of a problem with live lizard demos, he did have great photos of a capacitive touch switch that he put in his lizard enclosure so that when the lizard walks by and touches it, it takes a photo. You get like lizard selfies, I guess, I don't know, or wild lizard pics. Kirby came in with his NeoMatrix bamboo clock project. It's the NeoMatrix word clock that we put up on the Learn guide. So we built that project. He also built the arcade button with a 3D printed cover. And he also built a Techno Tiki. So he went a little crazy and built like every project on Learn, which is pretty cool. He's just got like a fun, glowy room. Greg, who's been working on his GPS airsoft project for a while, showed off the latest version. It now has a GPS and LCD with menu control all on one little board with a Metro Mini, and he's also working on getting into an enclosure, and so he can put it in his friend's pack so that they can track his airsoft pals while they airsoft and, like, I don't know, shoot each other with guns and stuff. That's cool. Lon came in, and he's actually in Utah. It's very beautiful. He's in like the forest, like very nice trees and all that stuff. I guess that's what they have in Utah. Good for him. We have skyscrapers. And he built a portable game show project. He's been working on the game show project for a while. This one, he's actually ready to use it live. It's going to actually be in use. So he's going to tell us next week if that worked out. And he has like a cool suitcase. Game show to go. Richard A came in with a drawbot that wasn't a drawbot. It was a human-powered drawbot. So it was like those puller Drawbots that go on with like a spray paint.
It was for an Amazon event, and they're letting him open source it too.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's
And,
cool.
and they're like, they're like, well, Drawbot's cool, but then we want more human interaction. So we basically made a polar coordinate Etch-a-Sketch that's really big, and then people can draw with it. And they made art, and they tried to draw the Adafruit logo, and it was like a mountain. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like a blue mountain with like snow on it. That's what I saw. Chris Elliott came in with SPI shift register project, so you can control dozens, if not hundreds, of SPI devices, all using 2 pins. So you basically shift registered out the chip select line, and that's kind of neat. And he showed it working with like 4 OLEDs and 4 temperature sensors. He's like, I'm not wasting pins. Like, Dad, I'm gonna like have SPI and only use like 4 pins total for like thousands of projects. So that was kind of neat. And he also open sourced that and put it on GitHub. And finally, I see Scott came in with the CS80 filter that he finally finished and put in a case, and his AVR programming jig, and his SMT Chromineus, which has 700 components. I guess that's part of like his Kickstarter or something, or he's selling them, so he's going to program them in, take in place, and make a lot. So there's going to be a lot of synths, a lot of SMT parts.
Okay. All participants on the show and tell get a seen on the show and tell sticker. Lady Ada, how do people get on the show and tell?
If you would like to join this like fun-filled super party that happens every single Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., you can do so by going into a Google Plus page at plus.google.com/plus-Adafruit and look for the thread with Adabot. And Adabot's like, comment here to get added to the show and tell circle. And then underneath there, make a comment using your name and avatar. And then we will click on your face and then click add it to the circle, and then you'll be invited. Maybe we get 7:30. Try to show up fast because it fills up very quickly.
Yeah.
Like we had everyone show up in about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
So be there at like 7:28. Be ready, and then when you see the invite, click it.
Yeah, we're at
Join
Max
the
Show and
project.
Tell, so if there's any other electronics companies or anybody out there who wants to do show and tells, please do it.
That'd be cool if we had like one on Wednesday, Monday, Friday.
We're not grabby. We're like totally like, please do a show and tell, because it's a half an hour or even actually a little bit less, because it's challenging to set up multiple video shows.
Yeah.
So we're totally okay with that. See, the thing is, no one wants to do it.
Yeah.
Just show up every
well, people
single
like we
week.
want an hour-long show and tell and
Almost.
like an hour and a half long
like, what do you
show, and I'm like, dude, that's like 2.5 hours.
Most of it's
I
like, what do
can't.
you mean I have to do something exactly the same time every single week forever? That's the hard part.
That's hard.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, welcome,
Over here.
guys. Yeah. Team Jack, you're also the code.
Congratulations, you are the code of the
Yeah.
week.
So I have some pictures and stuff. I wanted to ask some questions, but first up, maybe you can do some introductions. We'll start here. So maybe Cynthia can go right this way.
Sure.
Here you go. Take the microphone. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what you do in addition to this robot project.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Lu. I'm an electrical engineer grad from MIT. Currently work at Vecna up in Cambridge. We were a robotics company that also has some patient solutions in healthcare products.
All right. Okay. Oh no, you have a mic.
Oh.
already. I'll take
And
this
and
back.
what's
I'll take this back.
oh.
Oh, here you go. Take this back.
Okay.
Lamar's
and what's your
back.
favorite component?
Can I?
You could
Okay,
say this-
ask you your favorite
how
ice cream
about- how
flavor.
about
That's
this
what
week?
boring.
Favorite component this
The
week.
favorite component this week.
Oh.
What's like the last one you use?
Favorite component?
Yeah.
Okay, the Uno.
Do you know? You like Arduino? Okay, great.
Okay. All right. I'll take the mic back.
Okay,
And
thank
you guys are mic'd up. All right.
You're right.
Yeah. So Hanna Lin, I am a bioengineering grad from Cornell University. I work at SQZ Biotechnologies, which is a company that creates a microfluidic platform to enable intracellular delivery. So basically, putting things into cells, and basically any sort of material that you want to put in a cell, we're able to do it. So we're actually working on that technology
Just
right
get
now.
stuff into
And-
the UPS for cells.
Yeah.
Basically.
And,
Okay.
and Hannah, how did you run into these folks about with robots and everything?
I met these guys through a mutual friend of ours.
And you're
So-
just like, I want to go build a robot. Yeah, I want to.
that's how it happened.
It really?
Yeah.
You're like, cell delivery during the day and robots at night.
Robot delivery.
Okay.
That is my day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Awesome.
Lucy?
I'm Lucy Du. I'm a mechanical engineering grad from MIT 2014. And I'm currently a grad student, also still at MIT because it's such a wonderful place and I refuse to leave. And I'm getting my master's right now in precision machine design. So I design very, very precise machines.
Would you say that the robot that you worked on is a precise machine?
No.
Or is it a brute force machine
It's more like a brute
that
force
seeks out
machine.
man tears
Yeah.
on the
Yeah. If you look at it, you can just tell that it's one of those brute
Okay.
force machines.
It's just like I'm
Right.
here to destruct. I mean, you can't be too precise. It's
Yeah.
there to do damage, not to mill like
Exactly.
microfluidics or something.
So
I
is
don't
this
know.
like is this a nice break from your daily?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be as precise. It's like
Oh,
basically
yeah.
like
it's really great. It's like, oh, this sort of goes together. Let's just do it.
yeah.
It's like, oh, we're like within like a centimeter.
As long
we're
as it
good to
can
go.
flip
Yeah.
over another robot, that's what matters. Okay.
I think it looks like a spiky stabby thing too. That's kind of nice.
Yes.
yeah. And the name of the robot is Overhaul?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk about the origin of the name? Here you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the first name of the robot actually was Hydrolyze, and I think that came about after a brainstorming session from the four guys, Adam, J.O.,
Oh.
Charles, and yes.
Here, we'll actually, so this is some of the other team members here.
Yep.
Yep.
So from left to right, in the first row, we have Jamison Go on the left. Next to him, Dane Kouttron, then Andrew Berkowitz, and then Adam. And then in the second row, standing from the left, you have me, Cynthia Lu, Charles Guan, Lucy Du, and Hanna Lin.
James looks like
Yeah.
pretty serious. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, Charles has been on the show before, and he's in the recent issue of Make. And yeah, this is the most serious guy on the far left.
Jim or James?
Yeah.
Jameson.
James.
Jameson.
Yeah, he brought the gloves out and everything. for
No,
the photo.
he's serious.
This was like one of those serious portraits that
Yeah.
they used to do. So I think he wins the portrait.
He's a
and
very
then,
serious
Yeah,
person.
and then here's Overhaul.
Yes. That's Overhaul.
All right,
The
and
least
then
serious of all.
yeah.
Hey, robot with spikes.
So you also sent some photos. What's going on in this particular photo? What were you doing here?
We are reassembling the wheel pods. So Overhaul has a wheel pod configuration as well as a shuffle pod configuration. For the majority of our matches, we use the wheel pod. And here we are reassembling them after a match with Lockjaw, I believe.
Actually, I think this was this was post one of the matches, but turns out that some of our wheel chains were having some tensioning issues because we didn't actually put tensioners in them.
Now
and
you know.
this was- yes, now we know. So this was us putting tensioners back into it, and they're kind of ad hoc tensioners. We just cut up some plastic and put them in strategic locations.
They worked pretty well though.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
for the rest of the competition.
Okay, for the folks who don't know what Battlebots is, first off, where's it filmed? Was it in?
So that was basically in San Francisco.
So you had to fly out
Yeah.
with the robot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the trite and unamusing question. How is it getting through security with the robot? Like, how do you get through?
The robot actually didn't go through by plane. They came and picked it up.
Oh, really?
Well, they air freighted it.
They air freighted it.
Yeah, they
So-
air freighted all of the robots, so
We
it was
didn't
pretty
have
cool.
to deal
You
with it.
didn't touch it
Along
on.
with most of the materials, and we took some of the leftover things that we forgot with us in our luggages.
Okay.
We checked those, so it was not as bad.
That's probably a good idea. Like, I think probably ABC's probably like, we can't trust these engineers to like you'd like cut it in half.
Well, there's
and,
probably
like,
one season
hey,
where,
like a hint,
where
like
all of them
carry
got tied up
on.
in Delta or something. You're just
Yeah.
like, we can't do this again.
It got lost in the like
Yeah.
luggage carousel.
Some
and-
teams actually did have a lot of stuff get lost, and their luggage
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
sucked.
Okay, so starting from zero, if anyone hasn't heard of Battlebots, what is this event, show, entity?
It's a competitive robot sporting event
it's
where
For heavyweight robots,
Yep.
and in this case, for this season, they were all 250-pound robots.
That's the minimum.
Wow.
Yes.
Or that's
No,
maximum.
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 Yeah.
Maximum. Okay. Is there any advantage for it to be a lighter robot, or should you maximize the 250?
Well, you can have multi-bots, so you can have a lighter bot and a heavier bot as long as the total weight goes to 250.
Like you open up and then Lubot comes out. It's like,
Does anyone do that? Do they have another robot that
Yes.
comes out?
Um,
Does
several
that strategy work?
Yes.
Yes, it does. The little bots are often called nuisance bots, and they just kind of go around and distract the opponent main bot, and then while the other one kind of goes in for the kill.
Some of the nuisance bots are pretty heavy duty. They have
Yeah.
like flamethrowers, and so they're like
So
running around.
it's just messing with the bot while the other one's trying to
Hey,
flip
hey,
over.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, I'm a robot, and it's like wham.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
So I watched all these, and I wake up early, so it's like 3 in the morning, and I'm like watching these. So the first one was Bite Force versus Overhaul. One thing I want to say, I really like that your team, in particular Charles, decided I'm gonna go full on like ears. Ears, like I'm sure like they weren't expecting. Like everyone is like, I'm a NASA engineer, and then I think like MIT rolls in, and you guys are the freaks, which like yay, like pink hair and like that,
Ears.
gothy, like weird and like super smart. But I like that he's like very, we're gonna win, and he's like, you can't really take him seriously because like we're totally committed to this thing. And he looks like.
Do you have a photo of the bunny ears? Or no?
No, but I was gonna play some of the videos, but I'm like, no, I can't because it's ABC, and like they'll just come down on our YouTube channel.
All right, so go to YouTube and watch it.
We got in trouble for playing America the Beautiful over an Arduino, because there's a company called Rumblefish that does content ID matching, and they said they own America the Beautiful. They didn't, and they went away. So I decided it's probably not a good idea to pick a fight with ABC this week. So I know they can, if you Google for Battlebots, they let everyone watch the episodes for free. But I thought what I would do is I would talk about this one. So this is Season 1, Episode 5, the Grade 8 quarterfinals. So Bite Force versus Overhaul. What happened? Or what didn't happen?
Well, this was the quarterfinals, and we went up against Bite Force, which was also another lifting, sort of clamping robot or grabbing robot.
And that's what Overhaul is. Overhaul
Yes.
clamps
We also
and lifts.
We're more of a crusher.
You're a crusher.
So we have a really sharp tooth in the front that can crush through a lot of different materials. Really
It's like
thick.
a 8,000-pound crushing force.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
don't put your foot there.
Okay.
No.
On a side note, how do you test the robot? Like, what do you like? Do you make another crappy robot? Like, what do you do?
We
We didn't have that much time for
Yeah.
practicing. All we really got to do was testing the drivetrain in the basement of a building. Actually, our robot was so loud that we had people from the third floor
Right.
asking what was going on because
we
they
were
could
on
feel
the
it.
basement.
Was that part of the strategy? Let's make the loudest robot possible.
Yeah, it's intimidation factor.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So overhaul, like overhaul, your strategy is like pierce, and then crush, and then flip. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily in that order, but yes.
Yes.
Any of those at any point. No precision. It's
Yes.
just.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to get to the quarterfinals, how many robots did you have to beat?
There were prelims, and then we fought Lockjaw twice. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I saw
generally
that.
you would have 2 robots that you
Right.
have to beat to get
Yeah.
to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And we fought the same robot twice.
So
Yeah, I saw one of your team members. They said, "Well, how do you think they're going to do?" And the team member said, "Well, ask Lockjaw." And then Lockjaw beat you guys later. But that was controversial, I think. So okay, so with Bite Force, what happened?
we were pretty well matched. It was a driving match all around. It turned out to be more like a sumo wrestling style rather than a clear like flip.
Yeah,
crush.
push over to the sides.
We ended up having the majority of the match being Bite Force and Lockjaw.
So
not
like the
Lockjaw,
first 2
Overhaul.
minutes,
Yeah.
Bite Force was on us pretty hard,
Yep.
and we were spending a lot of time running away from them. And then somewhere in the last minute, we really took over, and we were able to lift Bite Force a couple times and run them into a couple walls.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But
eventually flipping them over onto the
yes.
side of the wall before
Yeah.
the timer ended.
So I'm gonna ask a couple more questions because I saw the big like screw things, and then after a minute, the floor pops up, and then there's saws and everything. What's the most deadly thing in there that you saw that like really messes up a robot?
I think the screws
The
on the
screws.
walls.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely, you saw if you watch the episode, you'll see a lot of robots get taken out. If they hit those, they get pulled out of the arena
Yeah.
and they get stuck.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah.
the crew actually realized was a problem halfway through the competition. So as soon as a robot got really stuck in the screws, they turned them off.
Okay.
So they wouldn't kind of just automatically win the fight.
Yeah, that was the one that I thought looked the deadliest. The other one, when the saws come up, if you have treads, it looks like this could possibly like hit your treads, and then you're like one wheel doesn't work. Okay, so did you win that match?
No.
No,
We
it's
didn't.
a close one.
It was
No, I
very
know.
close.
Yeah.
The judges even had to come out and go into the box to inspect damage.
No, I saw
Figure
that.
out
They
which
inspected
one.
damage. Do you remember the judges? Did you know anything about them?
One was the robot Mecha Mouser bot. He was the creator of that
Okay.
legendary bot.
Yeah.
Bot fighter. The other one was Chobit. Jessica
Chobit.
Yeah.
The
I,
Nerdist.
I was trying to remember too. That's why I was asking.
And then
Um,
the NASA engineer.
The
Yeah.
NASA engineer.
Yeah. So then you had there was another match. This one was this is the Overhaul versus Lockjaw, and they did some classification. They said Overhaul was like aggression 31, and then Lockjaw was 93.
It had to be the ears.
Yeah. So you added ears towards the end. What was the
Those are functional.
Yes.
Functional.
what did the ears do?
So the story behind those is we had our robot all together without the ears. We took them to the basement and basically flipped it over and noticed that we couldn't get back up.
Mind you,
Just
this was about 2 days before we had to ship the
Oh,
robot.
so you added ears so it
As
could.
a self-righting mechanism.
Oh, okay. So
Okay. Also super cute.
yeah. And
Everybody
so-
sees a different animal.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was like a kangaroo or something, or a rat. I mean, one of the two. And so when they classify these, why did they say that Lockjaw was so much more aggressive? And like, what's there? Is it because like this was a professional BattleBot builder and they just knew about them, or?
We don't really know the full reason and when they actually did the numbers.
Yeah.
So we can only say that it was before they actually saw the robot in person or even saw it in battle, and therefore the numbers.
Yeah, because you
probably
beat Lockjaw before, right?
Those numbers may also have been based off the fact that the CAD model that you see on the
Yes.
screen there is based off of the robot with our shuffling drivetrain, which we did not use.
Okay.
We talked about our wheel pods earlier, but we actually have a shuffler mechanism. So it was originally supposed to be a walker bot.
Oh, you'd walk over and like topple them?
Yeah, so we basically have two, I guess, feet, and each one is made up of 4 water jet components that are on camshafts that basically rotate and allow you to walk forwards.
Oh, wow. Okay, and why did you decide not to do that? Because it
It's a
sounds
little
like...
bit slower than it
Yeah, I was going to say.
Also, the mobility isn't great.
Right.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of drifting when you drive
Yeah.
around with it.
And
Can you turn? Like
You can.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It kind of hops around when
Right,
it does
right.
it.
Yeah.
using tank drive, knowing
Usually,
the status of
yeah.
Lockjaw and Donald Hudson as the driver, we knew that we probably wouldn't make it with the shuffle drive.
It's all about driving.
because it was going to be a driving match.
Usually
Although-
usually in conventional like robot matches, being a walker actually gains you a weight advantage. Therefore, we were thinking to use that extra 150
okay.
or so plus pounds if we were using walker bots.
But they didn't actually give us the weight advantage.
Yeah.
So
It's cool, it's 2015 and you're saying conventional robot matches. Cool. No, that's fine.
yeah, but if you do want to see the shuffle pods in action, if you watch episode 6 in the Rumble, the 3-robot Rumble that we participated in, we were actually running the shuffles just for fun.
Okay.
Not a lot of people noticed, but we actually changed up the drivetrain for that one because it
Oh,
was
that's
just a
cool.
really silly match
Yes.
overall.
It sounds like if there was, if you're fighting other walkie robots, that would be a separate, that'd be good. But like walkie versus drivey is hard.
Yeah.
My technical terms there. So what happened in this match? Did you win?
Second round, yes.
Second round you did. Okay, great. And then after this, there was this was the last one, and I saw some of this. So Lockjaw, there was some controversy, right? There was at the last match because it was a judge's decision. It was kind of close. So what happened in the final, the last Lockjaw match?
You mean the first Lockjaw match?
Oh no, you won the first one, right?
No, we
No,
lost
we lost
the first.
the
You lost the first one.
We were a wild card.
Oh,
And
you're
then- yeah.
okay. See, they put it out of order on the site, so it's hard to tell. Okay, so the history was you Lockjaw beat you, and then you got a wild card, and then you beat.
Lockjaw the second time.
Okay.
What's a wild card?
So if you won your, so they gave 4 wild cards out of like the best performance and or if they think the robot has a better chance of going forwards or
Yeah.
like, had a small
It was just really close.
really close, yeah.
Yeah.
So they awarded 4 wild cards and we were lucky enough to be one of them.
Okay.
All right.
So you get to go forward, and then you beat them in the second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay. And so, what was the controversy in the match that Lockjaw won? It was.
Well, the controversy was that.
I mean, it was a
at the end of the
controversy. It was a robot match, by the way. Like it's like
Robo
It was very
controversy.
everyone
controversial.
shook hands at the end. But what
Yes.
was the issue?
Well, at the end of the match, we were both the robots were separated, but I guess Donald Hudson had made a late hit. It was post buzzer, and he actually hit our robot and kind of dragged it around a little bit. And
After the
that was
buzzer went
after
off.
the buzzer, and we had let go of our controls already. So we were pretty angry about that, and
Yeah.
especially since it was post match, everybody was just hyped up on adrenaline,
Yeah.
and yeah, we weren't too happy about that.
Yeah.
But did that count? Did he get that credit, or did they say like, or say you're saying in most matches they should have said like you're disqualified, but they didn't.
Yeah, so it wasn't a long time after the buzzer, and I guess after the ref was yelling at him and told him that it was after the buzzer, he had laid off
Yeah.
Okay.
the controls. But I think the judges did maybe put that into their consideration. I'm not really sure. But
As far as I can tell, they're bloodthirsty and they just want they just want like everything. Oh, go! Like it's in the screws. This is like I
Yeah.
think they kind of want like that. They want like, oh, I can't believe they did that after the buzzer.
yeah,
You have to have some
Yeah.
sort of
I bet
yeah,
the
it's just-
TV crew was after a little bit of drama anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
And otherwise, it's just like nerds with like drivetrains.
Yeah.
I mean, like which is very exciting, but many people may not find it that exciting.
So Lady Ada gets asked to be on like reality shows sometime, and like we generally don't. So what was it like being on TV? This is for the engineers out there that probably get asked a lot now because like engineering's cool again, yay. So what was it like in the whole TV experience? Any tips or any like?
Well, I think one of the things I had a hard time with was I like didn't know what to do with my hands or my face sometimes on camera.
There's a camera staring at you, and you're like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, I suddenly don't know how to react normally.
yeah,
Yeah.
these hands don't work anymore.
But the whole experience was a lot of fun. They kind of let the robot competition happen the way it was supposed to, so they didn't really create any extra drama. They didn't make us fake anything too much.
Yeah, they didn't put you in spandex uniforms and starve you,
Yeah.
so you fought the other team. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
they did make us react a couple times to make sure they got the camera angles right.
Do it again for the camera.
Yeah.
Look surprised, look angry, look disappointed.
Be
Okay.
angry again. It was like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was also kind of because they had a smaller camera crew this time, so they wanted to capture as much of our reactions as possible. And sometimes when they saw us react, they were like, "Oh, swing the camera this way.
Yeah.
Let's do it again."
I see.
And why did you decide to do this? Like, what was it like? They found you and they're just like, "Do you want to enter a robot?" Like, how did this come about?
This was an invite only, and I think through connections from Adam Bercu and Charles Guan, they got an invite to perform. And,
Okay.
And they filled out a submission,
Right.
entered a robot design, and made a pretty silly video.
Yep.
And they actually got selected. So then afterwards, they realized that they needed a lot more man or woman power
Yeah.
to build this robot. So,
Lady power.
Yeah.
So I have a question. It sounds like some of these robots are like famous. Are you planning to redo Overhaul and go back and compete again, or is this kind of like you're done?
Considering it.
Yeah.
But we're also considering some other options that could be out there.
Yeah.
Like different kinds of robots, or like different shows, or like just different life
Different kind of robots.
decisions. Okay.
We're really hoping that there's going to be a season 2, which
Yes.
they haven't announced yet.
Okay.
Um,
But if they do,
yeah,
you'll say like,
of
look, it sounds like some of the people who you're fighting have been doing this for like a decade. Because I know that
Yeah.
Battlebots been around. So it's like, I'm not saying it's unfair, but it's like they have just been doing this for so long that they just know what works in competition. They've fought much more robots. This is like your first time all doing robots? Okay.
For the three of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Jamison, Adam, Charles, and Dane all participate in a lot of different smaller robot competitions.
Yeah.
So they're very similar, but they're just smaller weight classes. So
Yeah.
they go as small as 3 pounds, 1 pound,
1
maybe
pound,
even smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, the energy to weight ratio is just so different at the
Yeah.
smaller weight classes that
You run into different problems
Yeah.
at different
Yeah.
weight levels.
No, each one is, I'm assuming it's like, there's like the little mini bots, and then it's because they're like, look, this stage is only this big, right? Okay, so maybe if they have another season, you'll go back and redo this. With everything you've learned. What was the most important thing you learned?
there are so many things we learned.
Tensioners.
Tensioners.
Tensioners are important.
Okay.
Also, welded parts.
Yes.
Welded parts are not precise.
Yeah.
Okay.
They always change shape and
Yes.
size afterwards.
Yeah.
And they don't fit together, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, because they heat up. And
It's important to have quality control throughout
Yeah.
the process, because at some point, if every part is off by a little bit, at
Right.
the end it's going to be
Adds
off
up.
by a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's good advice.
They also gave us a small space, and there was like a lot of us trying to work around a small space. So that was a little interesting, working around everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have an idea for if you go back, given your skill set, you can do a nuisance robot that releases a paralyzing agent into the air.
Yeah.
And like everybody will be knocked out, but like you'll be ready for it.
You're like, why are they wearing gas masks?
And then
Yeah.
you take them out. I don't think there's anything in the rules that I could see that says you can't do that. And you work in biotech, like you totally like get.
Can you blind them
DNA
with like
sequencer.
flash? Can you flash
Yeah, we
blind
got
the
that
other
vomiting
people?
we have a vomiting
Might be able to do
flashlight
that.
that does the thing.
Like
Yeah.
really,
The
like if they
might
can't
not work.
see what's going on, they can't
Yeah.
control the robot.
The gas might not work because the robots battle in a large box. It's all
Yeah.
closed
No, the
off.
drone would go out and attack the guy Dwayne, whoever
That's
he is
true.
really
They
good
do
at this.
allow flying robots,
They do.
and they really want people to build them. so-
Okay, so
maybe that
now
would
you
be
know what to
good.
do. You can do this. All right. I mean, like if you take out the
Yeah,
brain.
for 250 pounds, you can put like 8,000 of those like little micro drones and have them like all come out.
Yeah, they'll come out.
That's true. How do they defeat which one do they defeat?
Yeah, they don't know which
Hardware.
one has the toxin.
Yes.
I mean, you'll totally go to jail.
But you'll win.
Maybe it'll be worth it.
Yeah,
It's worth it to win.
Okay.
Always worth it to win.
All right. Well, that's everything about Battlebots. We're gonna do a little bit of Ask an Engineer in the show, so stick around, ask questions, and chime in. Lady A, did you want to try to squeeze in the rest of the show with us?
Yeah, let's do the show.
Okay, let's do this.
We're here.
All right. So everybody, don't forget, it's Team Jack. 10% off all the way up to
And then
11:59
get your
PM.
questions ready for them.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I could talk into Lamore's neck. Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Neck.
I think it's working out.
Hey.
Okay. So let's start the show, Lady Ada.
Okay.
So we have mailbag. This is packet. We changed our show up. We got more new graphics. So it's packet. This week, packet is your letters to us. We read these to the staff at State of the Fruit every week. We still do this thing called State of the Fruit, which is cool. Every employee is part of it. And we read these letters. Hi, I just wanted to email and say thanks. You guys carry some great items, and every order I've placed have been processed very quickly. Also, I found your tutorial website and YouTube channel to be great resources both for learning and for inspiration. Thank you. Keep it the good work. P.S. Thank you for clarifying about the situation with USPS shipping with the big blown blocks during this week's accident engineer. The explanations were clear and provided valuable information. Thanks, David.
We are here to provide valuable information.
Yeah, there's some parts of the country that basically the post office kind of dumps the mail in a ditch. And so after like 1,000 packages have issues, we're like, we're not going to use postal for that area because someone's like mail hoarding. Like, you ever see the videos online? They're like, oh yeah, we found another apartment that had 20 years worth of mail. So if you ever wonder, it's like it's some guy's house.
Hopefully he's making something.
No, he's not. He's just here. He's just like, I don't want to give the mail, but he works for the post office. So, Adafruit's jobs board. This is a jobs board we made a while ago that anyone can post up a job. Lady Ada and I have to prove it. So no headhunters, nothing weird, and it's only maker companies that are looking for cool people to work for them, or it's people with skills. Let's say if you wanted to say, hey, we're a robotics team for hire. You could post up your skills and you probably get hired there. So this week it's a create a full stack web developer Tembu. Have you ever seen Tembu? It goes with an Arduino. You can do like Internet of Things stuff.
It's like the Yun uses it, if you ever
Yeah.
used a Yun. It's like the software that's kind of built in with it.
So if you want to join them in reimagine programming, they'll be able to do that. So they're looking for a full stack web developer, which I've recently found out is different than LAMP. I don't like Linux, Apache, MySQL,
Full
PHP.
stack does not.
Full stack is more like front end development. It's a new term for the.
It's actually
the new,
JavaScript.
Yeah,
So you can-
basically means everything's JavaScript now.
Everything's
Sorry,
JavaScript.
you're going to be using Bootstrap on everything. And
Yeah, it's a lot of JavaScript and frameworks stuff.
Yeah.
It seems.
So
I mean, there is some database, but it seems like
Yeah.
MongoDB a lot.
Wow. Okay, next up, our lady Ada was a judge in the next MacGyver. Yay! So
Yay.
that was kind of neat. They're picking another person to kind of do this MacGyver thing this time. It's a female engineer or scientist or mathematician or astrophysicist or who knows. And
You can build tensioners out of plastic thingies.
Yeah.
That's like the show, actually.
Yeah.
That's the entire show.
And so you did a video. I thought I'd play it. It was about your favorite film and TV
Media.
that influenced you and something you wanted to see
Yes.
as well. So
It's just played at the thingy.
Yeah, we'll roll the clip.
Hey everybody, it's me, Lamore, Lady Ada Freed, and I'm coming at you from the Adafruit factory here in New York. And I'm very honored to be speaking in front of you about what has inspired me when I was a kid in film and media. Now, other than MacGyver, of course, there's a couple other shows and movies that I really, really liked. Now, one of them, for example, was 3-2-1 Contact, which is an awesome show. And they also had a segment in the show called the Bloodhound Gang. And the Bloodhound Gang is actually the closest thing to what it's actually like to do engineering, because you're working with a team and everyone's like solving mysteries with science. And so like I really look back and I really loved watching that show. As far as movies, a movie that really inspired me and like I really, really love even to this day is Alien with Sigourney Weaver. Ripley is just an amazing character and she's just like getting it done. And that's also a lot of what I do every day, running an engineering company and doing engineering all the time. As far as TV and other stuff I would have liked to see when I was growing up, well, when I was a kid, I used to watch Mr. Wizard, which was a show about like science and learning and technology. And I think it would be really cool if there was a Miss Wizard. And having a role model that young women today could look at and say, hey, I can imagine myself being a woman scientist or engineer, mathematician. I think you guys can do it.
Okay, and
We're back.
We're back. So they selected the winners. If you're on Twitter, go to twitter.com/nextmacgyver, and you'll be able to see some of the winners and some of the things that are coming out soon. So neat competition. One of those things like be the change you want to see in the world, and so I'm kind of excited. I grew up on MacGyver, and I like that they're expanding it because the term MacGyver means so much more than just the person. It's like, oh, I MacGyvered it. So that's kind of cool. Okay, some open source hardware news. Today, this is kind of neat. We left Adafruit for like a brief period of time, which is rare, and the Little Bit store opened. So next time you folks are in New York, check it out. They're all the way open through the holidays. This is the secret press event today. I'm still part of the press. I haven't been kicked out yet, but they still let me in the place.
Also, we're friends.
Yeah. And so this is Little Bits. This is their pop-up store that they did in Soho. And here's a message from Aya that I was able. Hey, hello Aya. What's going on here?
Hi, we're here at the Little Bit store, which unveils on Friday, July 31st. It's part lab, part store, and you have a workshop area where you can make your own projects, whether it's a line-following robot or it's a synth instrument or some crazy thing that you dreamt up. This is the place to do it. So we're in New York, we're in Soho, we open on Friday. Make sure to come and visit.
Okay, look at this. Okay, so here's other parts of the store. One of the cool things I thought was all the different demos that you could go and touch and see. Unlike the Apple store, which is like never touch anything except for maybe the computers. Like everything's kind of like
And they're always like, get your grubby fingerprints
yeah,
all
well,
like
the watches are
clean
underneath
and thing,
glass
yeah.
and everything. So it's definitely a unique store. And then we have this interesting little moment in time. They actually cut the ribbon with those giant big scissors.
Hey! All right, can we get a countdown? Yes. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so this is a little bit about the rest of the store, and they had a whole big bin of bits, and they're kind of rocking out right now.
Yeah,
like
it was a really beautiful store, and like
Yeah.
it's fun because it's a workshop, so you can go in and build stuff, and you don't have to buy it. Like you just build stuff, and then like it's just at the work tables, and then if you like what you built, then you can take it back with you. Like you can buy the parts and just like pick it up and like check out. So it's like you get to like build what you want, and then you're like, that's exactly what I need, and then you're like, I built my project.
Yeah. So as of right now, Little Bits is the only open source hardware company with a retail store. That's
That's
kinda
right,
cool.
yeah.
So that's kind of neat. Oh, my logo is kind of up there.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Open source.
Yeah. So next up, we want to do some Arduino news. So we're shipping Arduinos. I don't know if you folks saw. We got the contract to make Arduinos. So yeah, the
So we're making
Arduino
them.
manufacturing used to be in Italy. They're bringing part of it to the U.S. So we're making Arduinos for 2 years.
We're shipping like a bunch tomorrow.
Yeah,
too.
so we had this thing, Arduino Made in USA, that's us, and I emailed the Arduino team because I wanted to make sure it was okay. I was going to put the exact number that we shipped, but they didn't get back to me, so we shipped a bunch. So far,
a lot.
if they
And
let us,
we have to ship more tomorrow.
yeah, if they let us, we'll talk about that. Adafruit Learning System, I'm going to skip this week
Yeah, sure.
more because I want to make sure
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
get
that's
on
really
here
cool.
on a regular amount of time. We have
guests.
Yeah, we have guests and stuff. So I'm going to do the wearables video, the 3D printing video, and then we'll do new products.
Okay.
And then we'll go for it. Okay. So let's do wearables. So this week we have a really cool
Bike wearable.
Spokepov.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Spokepov.
Color Spokepov, yeah.
Okay.
Here's a fun project to light up your bike. Keep watching to learn how to use DotStar LED strips and an Adafruit Pro Trinket microcontroller to make a persistence of vision display for your bike wheel. To get started, gather up your components and tools, which are all listed in the project tutorial. The link is in the description. We're using a strip of DotStar addressable RGB LEDs, Pro Trinket, and waterproof battery pack. Every great project starts as a prototype, so we suggest breadboarding your circuit before soldering the final version. And even use a duplicate set of parts if you have them to spare. Once you have a prototype, you can load up the Arduino code and test the circuit. This project uses the same code as Phil B's Genesis Poi, and you can learn how to create your own custom images or use the sample images provided at the complete guide in the Adafruit Learning System. Next, set up your bike in a stable position that's comfortable for working on it, and size up the lengths of wire you'll need for the soldered circuit before attaching the DotStar strip and battery pack to the Pro Trinket. After testing the assembled circuit, we'll want to waterproof it before affixing it to the bike. I'm going to use this spray-on conformal coating, but there are other techniques for rugged wearables you can learn about in this previous episode. If you ask me, attaching the circuit to the bike is the hardest part of this project to do well, if only because your safety depends on it. Use stainless steel zip ties for anchoring the heavy battery pack as close to the wheel hub as possible. Plastic ties work fine for the LEDs and trinket. If you want to save power, you can add an optional vibration sensor that triggers the LEDs only when you're moving. I'd love to see your electronic bike projects on our weekly show and tell hangout on Google+. And don't forget to subscribe for more project videos from Adafruit.
Okay.
that's wearables.
That's
So-
Becky blinking into the sunset.
Yeah, so don't forget, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern, the longest running wearable electronics show in the world. There's not another one, so we can say that. 3D printing this week. I think we have one of the coolest new videos in a while. So there's conductive filament for 3D printers that is just starting to happen. It's super basic, but it's like you can tell what's going to happen eventually. Like it's getting there. Like one day you'll be able to print out a circuit board. Like yay! Like it's getting close. But until then,
Very chunky, but
yeah. Until then, this is one of the first projects.
Here's how to 3D print a battery tester using dual extrusion and conductive filament. With this project, you can use it to test your coin cell batteries. The outer shell is PLA while the traces and the pads are printed in conductive filament. It's embedded within the part and it prints all in one piece. This conducts electricity when you hold a battery in between the pads. This highly conductive filament is from the fine folks over at Protoplant. The best way to design for dual extrusion is to separate the parts from each other. So the traces are cut away from the handle to avoid intersections while dual extruding. Our slicing profile is set up for dual extruders and the parts are assigned to the left and the right tool head. We found using an ooze shield helps reduce the messiness by collecting excess material onto an outer shell. This happens while the print head moves across the part and actually grows with it. There's no support material required here and you can download these files, of course, to make your own. You only need an LED and coin cell battery to put this project together and everything else is 3D printed. So let's start off by marking ground on the bottom of the LED. Now we can cut both of the leads short. You'll want to bend the leads about a 45-degree angle before fitting them into the part by inserting the leads into the slots. It actually holds together without any glue or solder, which is pretty nice. We think this project is great for testing dual extrusion and it makes an interesting demo for conductive filament. It also works great with bare conductive paint. Here we used it to secure an SMD LED sequence to make an ultra slim battery tester. This is a simple and easy project for testing coin cell batteries and a pretty cool use of dual extrusion. Be sure to check out our next video where we'll take a look at measuring resistance, slicer settings, and printing with other materials. But until then, we want to hear how you would use this in your projects and you can tell us in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and let us know if you liked this video and don't forget to subscribe for more 3D printing projects from Adafruit.
It looks cool.
Anyways, so for the folks just tuning in, we were talking about water jets.
Water jets.
I was muted the mic.
Oh, sorry.
For a second.
Well, we told all these water jet secrets, so that's good that they didn't hear them. The secrets of water jet. How all engineers just water jet everything.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's do new products.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. It's Team Jack. That's the discount code.
What does the JACD actually stand for? Should I ask? Is that a secret?
That's for the initials of Jamison, Adam, Charles, and Dane.
But they have to add like.
Yeah, so we tried doing that
Yeah.
afterwards, but it just was too many letters, so we just left it at that.
Okay. plus friends.
They'll get us back later.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, let's do this thing.
Yeah. So new product time. Okie dokie. Looks like a power supply.
Yeah, it's a power supply, but it's an awesome power supply. So this is, I've been trying to get this in the store for a very long time, and I finally did. It is a split power supply. So since power supplies are no longer, you no longer get them with like a wire-wound core inside, they're actually switching. It's rare to find one that has the ability to give you 2 power outputs. And especially if you it took 6101 or 6111, chances are you used the benchtop supply, or even you had to build one and give you plus and minus 12 volts for your op amp, because that's what you do. You're an electrical engineer, plus and minus 12 volts. That's how everything works. Well, the problem is that it's actually hard in real life to get minus 12 volts and plus 12 volts. You can get minus by flipping it, but you can't get a true split supply. So this is actually a power supply that's custom built, designed to give you plus and minus 12 volts on 2 plugs that are referenced to earth ground. So you actually get a true split supply. And so if you don't know what this is for, that's fine. But those of you who do know what this is for, this is really exciting, because I've never seen anything like this. Usually you have to get an ATX supply, and they're huge and annoying. But if you're doing, especially galvos that need split supply, plus and minus references, audio that needs these op amps, analog, synthesizers tend to have plus minus supplies, other sensors, especially delicate sensors that need a 24 volt differential. This is definitely your bag. It is pretty sweet. It's not the highest quality supply, it does droop. It doesn't give you a really solid 12 volts, but you can always put a regulator on it and bring it down to 11. But this is pretty much it. And we bought 1,000 of them, so hopefully people will like them. I think it's great because it gives you it's safe. You don't have to do any transformer work. There's no mains. You get plus minus 12. You're ready to go.
Yeah. So before, people just get 2 separate power supplies and just have to run them, or what would happen before?
If you could, you don't normally get 2 wall adapters. One that would be plus 12, and then you'd have to get a separate one that was a negative supply. And you can't just flip the connector because it's referenced to earth ground, and so you just end up shorting. So you actually have to get one that is a true isolated negative 12. I don't know, I think maybe ATX supplies, there's no easy solution that I found, or you get a power supply that's $40 or $50. It's a real pain.
Okay, I have a Battlebots question. So what type of batteries were in Overhaul?
Lithium ion.
Lithium ion? That's what everyone uses?
Everybody.
Yeah. There's nothing else for this.
Well, you can't put lead acid. It just weighs way too
Yeah.
much, and
Okay, that probably changed the sport a bit, because as soon as those came along, you could be portable. And
Yes.
Do you use the A123 batteries that Charles has?
I think that might have been. I'm not sure.
He's always showing off these batteries. He's and here's the scars I get from charging these.
that was something else.
Not that.
That was another scar.
Yes.
All right.
The safe batteries.
Next up, we have glow-in-the-dark 3D filament. So
Yeah, this is self-explanatory. It's filament. It wasn't the dark. What else would you want? This is perfect.
Okay. And then we have a water liquid sensor.
Mm-hmm. This is one we already have. E-tape. This one has a really nice plastic sheath on it to protect it, so you can actually just dunk it in water, because otherwise it kind of it's floppy. And this is our demo. It's a lovely animation. So here I have an Arduino reading the analog signal and converting it to a motor gauge that spins, and it's just a lovely little GIF with little bubbles and stuff. I'm so thirsty. This is great for measuring water level.
Yeah.
You just stick it in the fluid, and it measures it.
Okay. Next up, a sensor.
This is the BME 280, which is a new lovely sensor from Bosch. They make the BMP 085 and 180 and 183, well-known barometric pressure sensors. This is their new sensor, the BME 280, which is actually they finally figured it out. They finally got it together, and they're making really useful sensors, because this sensor has SPI and I2C. It has 1 degree C precision, accuracy, temperature, plus minus 3% humidity, and then 20 centimeter barometric pressure. So you can actually do altitude measurements to 20 centimeters precision or so. So it's actually a really nice all-in-one sensor. It gives you pressure, humidity, temperatures, all in one environmental sensor. That's why it's the BME Bosch measurement environmental sensor. I don't know what the 280 stands for. You're gonna have to ask Bosch. But it's a great sensor. Does SPI and I2C. We put on a breakout. Has level shifting, regulator. It's a lovely little sensor.
Okay, I have another robot question. Is there any sensors that are in the robot that give data out, or is it all mostly just remote control and
Actually, so during the event, Dane rigged up a current sensor for the bot because we realized that when it was in the box, there were certain tells of the robot that we couldn't figure out, whether it was running too hot, running too.
That's smart. Okay.
The clamp was out of range, etc., etc. So he made a current sensor during the competition, and we used it.
Okay.
And it just LED triggered and telling us how the clamp is doing.
Yeah, I think telemetrics might be one of the next big leaps in robot fighting, because you don't really, you don't know what's going on,
right.
and you can't do anything about it.
And do you use a radio link or a wired link for the controller? Radio? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You can tell how much I know about these things.
All right, so this is a photon.
Yeah, this is the robot board from Simon Monk for the particle photon. And I think it probably works for the core as well, the particle spark core / photon. And you basically put your little Wi-Fi board on top, and it gives you motor driver, a little TB6612, 1.3 amps, not really enough to drive your gigantic 250-pound robot, but maybe good for a little robot, good for little mini bots and
Featherweight
stuff.
class.
Featherweight mini class. Also has I think a regulator on there and protected input. It has some level shifters and breakouts. It's a little robot builder friendly board. Good for making Wi-Fi bots.
Okay, and we're catching up from last week. So this is our new PhoneShield.
Yeah. Wow, this is 2.5 weeks ago. This is the SIM 808 Shield. This is a cell phone plus GPS Arduino Shield, so you can add cellular plus GPS, and you can do text, and you can do voice, and you can do SMS and data and all sorts of good stuff with it. We have a really great library that lets you kind of do anything you'd want to do with a cell phone, except play Flappy Bird, although you could probably port Flappy Bird as well. Works with an Arduino Uno, just add a SIM card and a battery, and you're ready to rock. So I like this because I kind of crammed everything in there, but if you're especially doing, we have a Shield that doesn't have GPS, but if you want to do something with location sensing, this is really nice because you don't have to buy a separate GPS unit. It has the GPS actually in the cell phone module. I guess it's designed for cellular tracking, fleet tracking technology, so it's a kind of a nice all-in-one module. And it's on a Shield.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of SIM cards.
Yeah, let's say you want to use the Shield, and you're hey, it has a standard SIM connector, but I have a micro SIM. Well, now we have a little adapter board. You can pop your micro SIM in, and it will turn it into a mini SIM or a standard SIM. It's $1. It's just handy because some people are hey, I only have a nano SIM, and I want to, or a micro SIM, and I have to use it with the PhoneShield. I'm oh yeah, we should just get these little plastic adapters, but actually work really well. Just pop them in, go to town.
Okay, and the last break tonight, which is the star of the show, besides Cynthia, Hannah, Lissy, and Lady Ada, is one of our new products.
It's an updated new. It's new enough. This is an updated version of the Bluefruit Friend. We've had the Bluefruit Friend for a while, and it's been very popular. We've updated it to now have the new NRF51822 module with 2 yellow dots on it, which means it has 32 kilobytes of RAM, so it can use our latest firmware, and it's awesome. It's backward compatible with all the previous firmwares, but if you want to have the latest and greatest from K-Town, you'll want to get the new black PCB, which is how you'll tell which one you have.
Much better than a previous product that we didn't bring to market, which is Bluefruit Enemy. Didn't work out. So this is Bluefruit Friend.
Bluefruit ex-boyfriend did not work out.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right, and with that is new products. Good work.
Yay! And it's 8:59. Look, you got in time.
Good work. Okay, don't forget, the code is TeamJacked all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. We're going to open up for questions. Ask your Battlebot questions.
MIT questions, microfluidic questions.
Yeah.
Cellular transport.
That's right. Question mark.
So what's your favorite amino acid? Do you have one? Do people have a favorite amino acid?
You get asked that all the time, I'm sure.
Oh man. Geez. Any of the 20 that are essential to human life?
Yeah, those are great. I love those too. Those are awesome.
Can't choose.
Okay.
Okay, so.
And what's your favorite Young's modulus? I don't know. 0.4. I don't know what do mechanical engineers talk about? Like fasteners?
Fasteners.
Yeah.
Fasteners. Okay. What's your favorite kind of fastener?
I like button head screws.
Those are great.
Okay.
They're very
Like
useful.
Phillips or flathead or hex?
Oh, hex.
Hex.
Absolutely.
Hex. Why did I even talk about hex? It's great.
Flatheads are the worst.
The button with the hex, those are so cute. Right? You have to go in there and just turn them with a little hex wrench.
This is a question for you, Lady. Are you working on a breadboard-friendly Phona 80 Ado?
We did. We released that 4 weeks ago, which is why nobody remembers it.
Okay, so they could use the code Team Jack and get 10% off.
We get 10% off. Yeah, the Fona 808 Breakout, which is breadboard friendly and has all the pins in a row. You just plug it in. But
Okay.
this one is a nice shield form. Some people like the shield style because it's like you can like fit it on your Arduino and just like plug it on.
Have all the BattleBot episodes aired?
Yes,
They
they
have.
aired.
So they started airing in June, and then they
Yes.
June 21st?
June
Yep.
21st.
And the last one was this past Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any like BattleBot fame that's come out of this? Like if people are like, hey, like,
So I participated 2 weekends ago in a smaller robotics competition, and I entered my own 3-pound robot. And actually, I gave out my autograph to a little boy.
Wow.
Aw, that's so cute.
so you're for him, you're just a god. You're like you were on BattleBots. The other.
It was really
You must
exciting.
know
It was also in
everything about
Servo
robots.
magazine in the picture, so I signed right next to the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Servo Mag.
Yeah, I remember there was a couple times when Lady Ada was kind of, her profile was getting high, and what was the train magazine that contacted? It was Amtrak had their
Amtrak.
own. Amtrak had their
Yeah,
own.
Arrival.
It was called Arrival. Amtrak had their own magazine, and they wanted to do an interview. So she said sure, because like everyone saw it because you're stuck in the train.
What else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You're on the train, just read the thing.
The next one that's coming up
It's
for
always
you
like steakhouses
is-
in like
is-
Baltimore.
Well,
What?
is it 2-page? The next one that's coming up right now is a 2-page spread in IEEE.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As IEEE magazines go, that's the biggest one.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's gonna get excited. Okay. What was their favorite BattleBot other than your own?
Ooh.
I really liked Rex, even though it didn't go very far in the competition. It had one of the most interesting ways of moving.
Rex was the name?
Rex was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rex was the name of the robot.
Okay. And how did it move? What was the thing?
So it had this gyroscopic. Basically, it had this giant wheel that was turning, and they would take advantage of the momentum to move forward with
Okay.
like 2 feet. It was the only other walker bot other than us.
It's like a juggernaut. Like it was a pusher bot, or it would like push you out of the way, or the
No, its weapon was the giant flywheel.
the giant.
Oh, so if you use
okay.
the flywheel.
Use that
Okay.
to walk.
Okay. All right.
cool.
If there was one thing you could do over with the design or anything with the robot, what would be for Overhaul? If you're at Overhaul.
Not weld all of them.
Not weld.
Robots.
Some
and use bearings.
Okay.
Bearings are very useful.
Okay.
Always use them.
That's
Bearings.
so handy for movement.
And then
Did you have to have no bearings? It like you must have had
We
some
had
bearings.
some bearings,
yeah.
but in the lifter crusher mechanism, the main axle didn't have bearings in it. So when we did actually clamp down on a 250-pound robot, we had a hard time lifting them because there was just so much friction in that joint.
Oh,
So-
okay.
okay.
Bearings.
You
Got
ever
it.
made a microfluidic tic-tac-toe computer?
I have not.
Okay. This is a challenge. So ultimately, how far did Overhaul go? Like, was there a ranking in the end? Like, there was
Quarterfinals.
quarterfinals. Okay, so if you get there's finals and quarterfinals, and then no, how does it?
Finals, semifinals, quarterfinals, and then
Oh, you got far.
we were the top 8.
Oh, top 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, that's the one. What-
Of the pool of 24.
yeah, of the
so.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you think about robots for environmental engineering? I guess like farm bots. I guess you could like.
Environmental sensing, robots for agriculture, drones that can sense the distress signals from plants is another one that we're looking into. There are a lot of good projects out there
Yeah.
that I've seen.
Especially to alleviate a lot of really hard labor for people
So like plow bots and
Strawberry
like,
picking robots.
and animals.
Yeah. Okay. Someone says there's needy bot. It just makes the other bots uncomfortable. Okay. And then, what is your dream weapon to have on a brand new super awesome BattleBot? If you could pick anything.
Vertical
You
drum
can't-
spinner.
Vertical drums.
What?
Vertical drums.
Vertical drums.
Wait,
What is
vertical
that?
drum? I
So
don't remember.
it would generally, you would have a big, large cylinder of some sort, and on it there would be some sort of blade, and it would just spin vertically.
Okay.
And if you run into it, it would probably send you flying.
So it's kind of like the things on the wall, but on your robot.
Yeah.
And much faster.
Much faster.
Much faster.
Yeah.
They're really popular weapons for a lot of smaller robots.
Okay.
I think it's just really hard for the large robots, and we didn't actually have any in the pool of.
Is there a
robots
robot that
this
uses
time.
it, or you're just like you were just thinking like, wow, this would be a good design to if you could invent it?
Nobody in the pool of robots at
The
Battlebots.
two-
This time had them.
The 250-pound
But
one.
there's a lot of smaller, lighter weight robots that use
So you're like, how can I scale this up to make it powerful enough?
Is that what happens?
I would use bearings.
Yeah. And no welding. Yeah. Is the smaller robots where people look for ideas and they try to integrate them into the bigger ones? Is that how it happens?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
A lot of times, since the smaller ones, they're a lot easier for you to do on a personal scale. So then you can start when you're really young. Like I think Charles and Jamison both started when they were like 13 or
And they were
younger.
building bots.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can just iterate over and over because they're on a
And
smaller
you can
scale.
like perfect them with.
It's not
every
expensive or
competition.
scary. I mean, 250 pounds, that's more than that's more than the operator weighs. I mean, some of the guys are big, but like, that's a lot of robot. Like, you can get hurt.
Yeah, we
if you're
usually
not-
use 4 people to lift our
Yep,
robot.
yep.
I
Wow.
mean, because none of us are actually jacked. But
Yeah. Well, that's the name, though. That's the name. So as far as the robot itself, how long does the battery last before it like, because these matches aren't that long, so what is the goal for the battery life on the bots?
We just try to charge it after every run
So you-
because we don't want to run any risks.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever ran it down to like no battery or that never? No.
No, we've
You don't
never
even
done
Also
an
know.
very
endurance
bad
run,
for
right.
light
Yeah.
batteries.
Okay.
But-
That's cool. Okay. All right. I think those are all of. Okay. Let's. Oh wait. Okay. So will we be stocking any low-cost robot chassis for building homegrown bots?
I'm inspired. I should probably get on that.
Yeah.
Water jet parts.
Okay.
The water jet. Yeah.
And then
I've had a water jet. I miss having a water jet. That was great.
I guess another one. How did it work with? Well, two things. How did it work with the funding? Like, how did you pay for the bot?
Out of pocket for the most
Mostly-
part.
mostly
out
We
of
had
pocket.
one local sponsor that was a
Beantown
called Beantown
Taqueria.
Taqueria. Shout out to them.
Beantown Taqueria sponsored the
Yes.
bot.
Yeah.
They're a little Mexican restaurant that we eat at
Almost
all
the
yes,
time.
a little too often.
Yeah.
So it was.
It's like burritos are good or tacos? What's the
Burritos.
So burrito in, robot out.
How does the how do the burritos compare to like Anna's or?
I actually like
I don't
it
like
better.
their tortillas that
Yeah,
much.
there's
but-
certain foods that are
yeah.
better than
I like
others.
their nachos a lot. They're also
Okay.
really fast and a lot of food.
Lady has opinions about Anna's. So every time we go to Boston, she kind of wants to go there.
There's some really good. Also,
Yeah.
Boca Grande, which is really good too. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I don't think they're around anymore, but
Okay,
good
what
tacos.
platform did your robot use? Was there any OS or like is there anything, or is it just like straight up controls with RC?
Straight up controls.
Yeah.
you can't have like Linux booting. You know, like,
Hold on, the kernel has to be updated.
No.
I think one of the bots used sensors. It was a Ghost Raptor, I think. He might have used some
Oh,
sort
that's
of
right.
some
Okay.
sort of detection. I think it was
To track the
Yeah.
opponent robot.
in the
Oh,
cage.
okay. Wow, like robot seeking
Yep.
robot. Okay. And then someone asked with batteries, but I think we almost covered
Lipo,
that.
yeah, the big lipos.
Okay, the big lipos. Okay, those are the questions for the night. Thank you so much. This was
coin cells.
woo. Yeah.
Lots and
Many
lots of
points.
coin cells.
Okay, so we're gonna make the trivia question pretty easy tonight. Lady, what are the rules for the trivia question?
Rules are you can't enter this contest if you already have won something from this show. So if you've won something already, sit on your hands or go work on your robot.
Yeah.
Only one winner per my lifetime. The first person to answer the question either YouTube or Ustream chat, whichever we see first. We're looking at both, and sometimes they're saying, sometimes they're not. Look,
Yeah.
we're doing the best we can. Wins a fabulous prize. Fabulous prize is Sim 808 Shield. Sim 808 Shield,
Yeah.
cellular plus GPS would go very
For
well
Arduino.
in your for Arduino or compatible. Would go well in a robot.
Okay. The trivia question is, what is the name of Team Jack's robot? We've talked about it a bunch. All you have to do is type in something you heard on the show.
Have you been paying attention?
If you look closely, it's even on the shirts here.
should we,
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But what is the name of the robot from Team Jack? Someone always guesses 42. It's not 42. Let's see who gets it first.
Robot name, robot name.
Yeah, what is the name?
It is also on the Battlebots website.
It's on the Battlebots website. It's on. Oh, here we go. J.W. Kennedy 651 Overhaul. Congratulations.
Yay! There's
All
those
right.
guys.
Excellent. You won.
Congratulations, JW Kennedy. You can read.
Yeah. You heard something within the last 1 hour. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Okay.
You win this lovely shield.
Yeah. Email support@adafruit.com and we'll send you the Fona 8080 808
808.
808
Yeah.
808.
808.
Got too many. It's like
There's
banana.
lots of
It's like
O's.
banana. It just keeps
Banana,
going on. Yeah. No.
banana.
It's
I know, there's a lot of 8s.
It's
and
808.
zeros.
Yeah.
That's 808.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the show for the night. Special thanks to our guest, Team Jack, thank you so much for being here. Yeah. That's also the code all the way up to 11:59 p.m. tonight. Special shout out, especially my serious friend all the way on the left there.
James.
Kill you with my robot. And where is Overhaul right now?
In a shipping crate.
Oh, it's on the way
It's
back?
hiding behind a bunch of insulation.
Yes.
Okay.
In a building.
Do you guys work on it at Miters, or like where do you work on this thing?
Upstairs from Miners.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you gonna do anything more with Overhaul, or is that a chapter and it's over and you're now looking on to the next thing?
Unsure.
We're waiting for the announcement of season 2.
Okay.
/ season 7
/
if you
season 7.
counted.
From the very beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's like episode 1, episode 4. Yeah.
if it happens, you'll go in and dust off the thing, like, oh, Overhaul, you're back. Okay.
Well, you got through the preliminaries, so like,
Yeah,
and that's really
quarterfinals
great
is a
for
big
like
deal.
your first attempt at doing robot stuff. So.
Did you feel pressure because they were like MIT kids? Was there any like that, like, because you're supposed, because I watched it. They're just like, you guys are the MIT kids. Like, do they?
We didn't feel that MIT kids when we were there.
Yeah,
but
because they
I
just
guess
kind of
played up on
classified all
TV
of
a
you.
lot.
Like, here you
Well,
go.
the thing is, when we were in the pits, the builder atmosphere is actually quite collaborative and very supportive. So
Yeah.
it was like everyone was just frantically trying to fix their robot.
And everything that was on TV, we had no idea what they were
Yeah,
doing.
the announcers are
commentary,
crazy. Did
anything
you watch the
like
show
that,
afterwards?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, they're
Like,
they're
that didn't
trying.
happen. No.
No, they're like trying to incite like riots. Like they're really like
All about that reality TV.
yeah, the judges are torn. What will happen? And they're like, oh, look at the person. They just like they got a camera angle of someone going like they were just like tired or something. But they're like they're devastated. And they're just, no, they just dropped the wrench. It's okay.
They can't find the wrench. They don't know the wrench.
They're not. Okay, well that's really cool. Well, if you do anything else, please let us know. And you guys are always welcome to come back here. So every time you come here, Adafruit's a little bit different, and bigger, and everything. So next time it'll all be holograms.
The whole building, right?
Yeah. We'd like to get the whole building, but they won't.
When we do, we'll have a Battlebots arena here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's show last little bits of things. Here's a picture of Kat. Come on, Sven. When we had the show at our apartment, we would bring him up and show him in front of the camera. But cats and factories don't get along.
We would never find them.
We'll be here next week. Here is your moment of Zener.